poured me water or something.
No. Everybody, we're here with a friend of mine. Do you mind giving the folks your name?
No, not at all. Ray, my name's Ray.
Okay, Ray. Ray, you mind if I ask what you do for a living?
No.
Ray, what do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician.
Okay. How long have you been an electrician?
25, 30 years.
Yeah. Okay. I just asked Ray if he'd mind if we did an interview. I want to start doing these, and I figure Ray's a good place to start. We haven't discussed any of this prior to this conversation. I want to ask you a little bit about 9/11. Do you remember where you were on 9/11?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about the morning, your morning that day?
Yeah, I was working at my boss's house in Sarasota, and he was outside, and I was outside, and he told me that the Skyway just got hit with an airplane. It really didn't dawn at me at that moment, but kind of thought he was kidding a little bit, but I guess
The
I found out.
Skyway, you mean the World Trade Center?
Yeah, the World Trade Center, and I just didn't believe it right off the bat. And, I don't remember much else than that day.
Do you remember?
I know I kept working and continued on through the day, but I didn't know. It was just kind of shocking.
Do you remember seeing the buildings collapse in New York City?
On TV.
Yeah. How? Do you remember how you felt then? Do you remember your emotions? What your emotions were that day? And the following days?
I don't really remember. No, it was just it was payback time. It was payback for what someone did to our country. I guess I had some sorrow for all the people that died and lost their lives, and it was, like I said, I was interested in the payback. How can someone do this to the United States? We're united, we try to help everybody, and then look what we get in return.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if it's united we fall instead of united we stand.
How do you think 9/11's changed life for you? Well, let me ask you this: do you think 9/11 has changed who Ray is today, or the way Ray operates? And then maybe do you think it's changed life for other people, and how so?
Well, there's a lot more security out there in the world, but me personally, I don't think it's really, just like everything else we go through, eventually we forget what's going on, and, we forget what happened, and, nowadays you can't go anywhere, you can't go to airports and nothing like that. There's a lot of crackdown on security and stuff like that, and hopefully the so-called government or whoever it is got a hand on this stuff, taking care of us. What gets me is we just keep bringing foreign people into this country. Like I said, we want to be helpful. We want to be helpful. Our hands are out to these people, but sooner or later they just turn around and stick us. It's like Mexico. We're bringing all these people over to our country to help them. But what are they doing? They're taking our jobs, and I don't like that. And I don't know how 9/11's changed us at all, really. I don't even think about it unless the date comes up and someone tells me, "Hey, you remember 9/11?" Yeah, I remember 9/11. Plane crashed into a building. That's about it.
Okay, we're back here with Ray. I'm going to ask Ray to take a look at a video here, and in a second we'll show you folks what it is. I want you to take a look at this video and tell me what you think it is. Let's see if we can.
What do I think of that?
What's that look like to you?
Of course, it's a building collapsing
Right.
with a lot of people in it.
That's a 47-story structure, steel structure, steel and concrete structure. Does that look anything reminiscent of a controlled demolition where they use dynamite to bring the buildings down?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever known of a building like that collapsed because of fire?
No.
Okay. Do you know what building that is?
The one that got hit by a plane, I guess. I don't know.
No. That's they were both 110-story buildings. That's a 47-story structure. That's World Trade Center 7. That was the third steel structure that fell on 9/11. That fell at 5:20 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anything about that building?
No.
Do you find that strange that you
Yeah.
never heard about a third building in New York City?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I never thought about it, but it sounds like some kind of scam to me.
That building is housed the Securities Exchange Commission, where thousands of Wall Street fraud investigations were lost that day. It housed Rudy Giuliani's bunker on the 23rd floor. It housed, I believe, the backup records for the Pentagon that the day before 9/11 reported that they lost $2.3 trillion, and any records for that were destroyed on 9/11 at the Pentagon and in this building. And also it housed, I believe, the Enron, all the Enron papers. And a group of architects and engineers have done some investigating, the people that build those buildings, and they believe that all three World Trade Centers were brought down with controlled demolition. They found traces of nanothermite, which is military-grade explosive, our military-grade explosive. They found in the World Trade Center dust, using forensic science.
Right. So,
What do you think?
what do I think? I think, I guess it might be our government that took care of them buildings.
You just said that our government's protecting us.
Right, right.
They're gonna
So I guess
keep the bad guys away.
right.
And this
Maybe
is telling
that's
us
not true.
this is telling us a whole different story.
Right.
That simple 9-second video.
Yeah. Kind of puts a new perspective on my life. Or
When
at the moment.
we look at 9/11 and we realize the rights that we've lost because of security that you also mentioned at airports, they're groping men, women, and children and violating our civil liberties, our God-given liberties. And now they want to take our guns away. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Anyway, would you wish to say anything to the people before we go?
I'd say something about the guns. I mean, they make a lot of stink about the guns, but basically they're going to try and take our guns away. That's never going to happen. They can say that it's going to happen. They can say they're going to do it, but there's no way of doing it.
Well,
And
with the school shootings, the recent school shootings, and what's happening, that's fueling the public to want our guns taken away so that those things can't happen anymore. And I'm not speculating that that too was a red flag attack, but there's an astute possibility that it could have been.
Set up.
Yeah, if the people that masterminded 9/11, the true perpetrators, don't care for human life, at least ours,
Right.
and are willing to dispose of 343 firefighters and 2,700 other people,
To hide records.
start a war in the Middle East, because that's an all spin off of that $4.5 trillion spent. They certainly don't care about a few school kids
Well,
to get their agenda through.
I guess that shows us how much control we don't have.
Yeah. Now, did we talk about any of this stuff prior to this? You weren't prompted in any of this by myself, is that correct?
No.
This was a spur of the moment thing that we sat
Yeah,
down.
This is over breakfast, coffee, and going outside for a cigarette. That's all it was.
Okay. I want to thank you for your honesty.
No, I
and
want to
for,
thank you, Dave.
yeah. All right. It's good breakfast. Thanks, folks.